ready for a big match, semifinals. You know, I love the quote from your coach saying he views this team as almost like the little engine that could. I mean, do you guys kind of embrace that role, that mentality of maybe being an underdog here?
Definitely. We've had a lot of adversity thrown at us this year, and we just have that mentality of, you know, whatever comes at us, we're going to deal with it, and we're going to get through it together. And we've come out winners through it all, so I'm really proud of this team and the fight that we've put up so far.
How have you endured that mentally? Like, what's been it for you to try to block some of that out and focus on what you have to do on the field?
Just knowing that I'm not in it alone, that we've all got each other's backs and we're in this together. Because yeah, it has been a difficult season, coaching changes, ownership, drama, and it's a lot to process. It takes a lot of our energy away from the field. So yeah, it's going to be a nice off season to look forward to, and we're just hoping to do that as champions. So it'll make it a lot easier.
I wouldn't call it a blessing in disguise of everything that's going on in the background, but has it brought this team closer together in a sense?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's, you know, made everything worthwhile, but I do think it makes all these victories a little sweeter in a sense. You know, once you kind of been through something with somebody, it makes the bond tighter, and you're that much more excited than when you conquer something together.
What's the approach for Sunday? I mean, one game, you know, get to a final, everything on the line type deal.
Just keep going. There's a lot of positive energy around the players, and we're just trying to ride that all the way through the championship.
All right, we'll do one more question if anyone has one.
So going over to the Reign, you've played there twice this year, but it's that baseball stadium situation where it's narrow, it's short. How much, obviously the games have gone well when you've been, but how much has that played a factor in having to make, you don't want to make big adjustments since you're in such good form, but then it is a weird field to play on?
It's definitely a difficult pitch to play on, just being narrow, short, so it takes a little bit of the possession out of the game. I think it's going to be really exciting. There's going to be a lot of chances, hopefully a lot more for us, but I think it's going to be a great playoff match and really showcase our energy, enthusiasm, and just the dynamic attacking team that we've got right now.
Great. Thanks, Aubrey.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
This team's been through a lot on and off the field. What are you most proud of with this group?
I think the run that we've had has been so incredible, especially the second half of the season, and I think just how we managed all the difficulties hasn't been pretty, but I think us still supporting each other and continuing to put on great performances in spite of all those things.
The adversity, has it galvanized this group, in a sense, brought you closer together?
I think it has to, but I would love for that to happen without a lot of trauma, but I think it has.
Talk about the upcoming match against the All Reign. You guys have faced them previously. Like, can you bring some of the experiences that you've had from that match to this coming weekend?
For sure. They're a great group, so I think we'll rise to the occasion. I think we like that challenge. They have so many great players who play great together, so they seem to have all the pieces as well, so I really think it's going to be a good showdown, but we love that. So, yeah, I think it'll be a good one.
What do you hope fans take away from what you guys have been able to put on the field this year, despite everything that's been going on around the club?
I hope fans feel more connected to us, and you know, we have so many fans that inspire us, and I hope that we inspire them as well, and I hope that we just see their support in the future in the stands all season long next year.
Going into this match, there's always pressure, but in a sense, you've been embracing the underdog role for basically all season long. Do you feel like, in a sense, you're playing with house money and maybe the pressure's more on them because it's their home pitch and you're going to their place?
I think every single NWSL game feels like a playoff because that's how close the table is. We've seen it this year and in past years and how narrow the margins are. So I feel like it just feels like another game, whether it's home or away. yeah, there are different implications, but every game has felt that high at stake. So I think, in a way, we feel very prepared. So I think that feels like another day.
Awesome.
I guess just kind of walk me through what you've been trying to coach them on mentally, emotionally, to focus on the game that they have to play rather than everything else that's going on around them as well.
I mean, I think it's been a balance of needing to acknowledge it, but also, focusing on what we can control. That's been a big thing of, this team's in a really good place, and they've done a lot of really amazing things, and so it's important just to keep hammering away on those things, which are things that we can control. We can control our attitude, we can control the effort that we put into performance, we can control how we prepare. There's been a lot of things that are difficult. We don't really have a place to do video all the time, so they have to adapt, and we send it to them so they can get it at home, and then we can come here and we can talk about it all the same. And so it's just been giving them that, and then trusting them to be professional and holding them accountable with those kinds of things.
When you talk about addressing it, of course it's specific, but I mean, is that like just kind of sitting around a room talking to, like, how do you address that in a way that you think?
It's a mixture. I'm more of a one-on-one conversationalist personally. So if there's something that needs to be addressed like that, then it's just having conversations. If it's something for the entire group, then it'll be a large conversation, just like we did at the end of training. But a lot of times that's not the case, and so it's just being able to say, okay, I need to go and I need to talk to these couple people, like you've seen. Lee and Paul and Andi are going to take people and they're going to do the group work. But I'm able to then go, okay, I need to talk to this person, I need to grab this person, I need to do this, that, and the other, and just walking them through that. So meeting the small group over there, that wasn't pertinent to these guys. So it's just making time and making sure that they know that I'm available.
Despite all that, because they're in a fantastic position, what does that say about these players and about what you guys have been able to do despite?
I mean, they've really bought in, and it's been a real collective of, especially since these two came back from the Olympics, of hey, we're really, really excited about this group, about where we think this group can go, and that kind of feeds and trickles down because it is a young group in general, but they see how much it means to more of the senior players. Like, oh, this is something we want to be a part of. And so, really since the forfeits, that was more of a binding agent than a dividing agent, really, for us. So that's been positive, and it's just been, everyone continuing down the path of trying to get better every day and going to win some games.
I loved your quote after the match this weekend when you referred to this team as the little engine that could. How they embraced that mentality here this season?
I mean, I think we've looked at this group. There was a lot of discussions going into creating this group in the offseason last year. And it's a stronger group than I think has existed in a long time. Even though I've been away from the club for a while, it's keeping tabs on it and everything and just saying, like, we've got national team players who don't make the roster. That's not a lot of people are in that position. So it's talking about it as being realistic and saying, we are all focused on going this together. Or at the same time, we're focused on making sure when you go off to your individual environment, being in different national teams and so on, that you're prepared for it. That even if this game isn't something that you're playing in, that we're making sure that you're ready to go for the next thing that is your own personal endeavor. And I feel like to a large degree, that's been really helpful. That's allowed people to stay really bought in. But it's, in so many ways, it's really just been driven by them and the senior players as well. Just, hey, this is what we're going after, and everyone has clung to that and moved with it.
What are you most proud of with this group?
Just the resiliency in facing everything. mean, there's so many different things, from club turmoil to league turmoil to players demanding change, to being in a competitive environment is hard. Just in general, it's hard. Every day you're having to go and be compared against other players and having to prove yourself against other players. And by the way, that player has a Olympic gold medal and a World Cup gold medal, and I'm trying to beat him out every single day. To come out to show that kind of attitude on a daily basis, to come out and continue to find the energy to want to be the best, and then do that in games where, again, people are trying to knock you back. They want that game, they're going to give it everything that they have, and you've got to battle against that in the midst of all these other things as well. So, I mean, really just the resilience to show up and do that on a daily basis.
The adversity, the off-the-field stuff that's gone on, has it galvanized this group? Has it brought everybody closer together in a way?
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, for sure. I'd say there's certainly aspects of it that have brought people together. I don't think that it is dividing people. I think more than anything, it's brought them together. But there are some things that are still really difficult for people to deal with, that people are struggling with. And I mean, I think the nice thing is just they have the ability to be a little bit more of a team, and so they've been able to utilize each other as more of a support structure, which wasn't always the case.
Looking ahead to this one, against the Reign, obviously they play such a different brand of soccer from North Carolina. It's also this different surface. I know you don't want to change too much since things have been going quite well, but it is kind of a very different challenge. It seems like. I was wondering just your general thoughts on that aspect of it.
It is for sure. I think there's certain things that are similar in the sense of basic, I would guess, soccer maxims, I suppose, of you still want to protect the center of the field. You still want to make sure that you're good in transition. You still want to make sure that you're covering against the other team's transition. And then, at the same time, I feel like we, and not more of a, collective, we talk a lot about opposing teams and how we're going to stop them, but I think we've continued to show that teams have to take a look at what we're bringing at them as well. And I think we're in a really good balance of that right now, of looking and seeing what the other teams are doing, but also saying, no, this is what we do really well, and this is how we're going to continue to go about it. So I think it's just tweaking a couple of little things today, just how we organize pressure, where and when we want to pressure. But then other than that, it's just sticking with the things that have gotten us to this place as well, and continuing to make those as sharp as possible.
One more question. I noticed Tori not here. Is there any update on her injury?
So not really. She went to get an MRI, and then I think she's seeing a specialist. So it's all I can really say right now. But I think they're looking at that before they can come out with a longer term plan of what that's going to look like. She won't be available this weekend. But in terms of overall, she's got to get with the specialist, which she was supposed to be doing today. And then we'll have a better idea. So I would say probably by the time we land in Seattle, we'll be able to say for sure. But as of yet, it's not looking positive. But we got to wait for the doctors to weigh in with their recommendations first.
All right, we'll do 2 more questions unless anyone's done. Everyone's done. Stacey, please.
Just out of curiosity, are you gonna have any particular are you gonna say anything to the team when they get to Seattle in terms of motivating them to get them ready for the match against the Arena? Is there anything that you're gonna do team building wise? Or are you just gonna treat this as a regular game, or are you gonna do something different in terms of the way that you speak to them and strategy and stuff?
I don't think anything will change from that regard. We always do a pregame presentation where we look at our specific tactics and the things that we want to get out of it, and there's generally a message included within that. That generally happens the day before though, so I haven't really gotten into that yet, apart from just what the tactics are going to be. I really just try and look at what the team's dealing with, and then draw some inspiration the day before. But that's generally the point where, that's the more inspirational, aspect of it. But in terms of team building, a lot of it we leave to them. There's certain things that we do, but last time we were in Seattle, we had a Mario Kart tournament, and that was a big hit. We had a ping pong tournament, that was a big hit. So a lot of it's just, it's kind of just creating the environment for them to go and do, and be teammates with each other, to be humans with each other. And fortunately, we've been able to do that, and a lot of our support staff has really been able to help facilitate that. So I think that's pretty much it. It's going to be business as usual, really.
We got called by some
Feeling good, feeling excited, and ready to keep this thing rolling.
What's the mindset going into this? Obviously, it's win and move on, go to the final, lose, and the season's done.
Yeah, I think we're all prepared, we're all excited. I think we are confident because we've been there before. We went to Seattle twice, and we've got the W twice. So definitely not going to overlook that we're a great team. So I think as long as we are all on the same page and have our tactics set, I'm excited about that.
It's tough to beat a team 3 times in 1 year.
Yeah, it is, but if anyone can do it, I think we can. So, yeah.
Coach said the way he felt was the right way to kind of address everything that's gone on this season is just to have an open forum, address things head on. Do you feel like you personally had an opportunity to address this head on in a way that you feel is satisfying to you?
That's a good question. I think we all handle things very differently, and I think the best part for me is just being able to talk to teammates and kind of share our experiences. Some of us have only been here for a year, some of us have, like me, have been here for many years, and so it's just been good to kind of bounce experiences off each other and just kind of feel how each other are doing.
Those are difficult things to talk about, and then you've got a fan base that's watching all of this happen.
Yeah.
What do you hope that a fan takes away from this and sees you guys doing on the field despite what's going on off the field?
I think our fans are seeing it pretty clearly that, it's about the players, we are the product, and I think I was talking to my husband the other day, and one of the fans just said we love coming to watch the players, and I think that's the story that we want, to resonate for this season. It is about the players, and we've been able to produce a great product despite all the distractions. So I hope that the fans can continue to see that.
You said you've been with this club for a number of years. Because of what's gone on, the adversity, the off-the-field stuff, is this the closest team you've ever been a part of?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Every year is unique. I think I've been on a different squad every single year. We have players come and go. But I definitely would say this year has been special because of all that we've had to overcome together.
Going into this weekend, I was kind of asking the same question to everyone. This is a very different kind of game. The Reign played differently than North Carolina. Mm-hmm. You're playing on this very small surface. For you specifically, what elements of your game does that really impact?
A smaller field definitely helps with the running. So that'll be nice, but they are a really skillful and talented team, so that means we just got to be that much sharper in our positioning on and off the ball. I am excited to play them because I feel like because of the small field we can get more opportunities a little bit quicker in transition, but they're also good at transition. So I think we just have to be a little bit extra sharp and look for those opportunities because they will present themselves.
That's it for me, so thank you.